Well, howdy folks, Argsy here, and we just had the most interesting phone call from one of the top dressing pilots. He said we should go over and take a look at the cornfields, our leased land, and go and check them out, because he said he spotted something from up in the air that he thought we might want to know about. So we're just going to head on over, go for a little bit of a drive and see what he's on about. I've got no idea, he didn't sort of let on too much about what it was he saw, but yeah, we're going to go over and have a look and see what it is. I mean, if he saw it from the air, hopefully we can see it from the ground. We'll just have to go and have a look and see what it is. So that is the plan. I'm hoping we are still in October. The crops won't quite be ready. Could be a good chance actually to have a look at the corn, but I'm hoping we'll be able to get into November soon and make a start on the corn harvest. Now that everything else is done, we've got all those corn stalk bales taken off the other field. The only other thing we could really think about doing would be to get in and do some tillage on the corn fields, getting them ready for the soybeans come spring. But I think we might actually leave the corn as it is. Worry about that once the winter's been and we can get back in there. I don't think there's too much benefit to doing anything now, but we're going to go and see what it is that the top dressing guy has spotted. Go and see exactly what he's on about, and well, I just hope nothing's wrong. Anyhow, we'll get down there, not too far to go and see what was happening. Well, here we are. Corn's looking actually really good. In fact, I can hear the plane going over now. Wonder if he's come back for another look. But yeah, that crop's looking really good. Can't see anything wrong from here at all. We'll just go for a bit of a drive around. I don't know if it'll be obvious. He said it should be. Let's just head on along here a little bit further. We'll get down to the field entry. But look at that corn. Look at those rows. They're all looking fantastic. I'm just stopping here. Hang on. What on earth? Someone's been in the corn. No way. Well, alright, let's go and have a look at this. Can't believe it. Someone's driven into our cornfield. Why would they do this? I've got no idea what's going on. Why would anyone want to drive in our field? It looks pretty deliberate too. It goes a long way in here. Hasn't knocked everything down, obviously just where their wheels have gone. These, they would have got bent over being driven over, but they seem to have sprung back up. But it's reasonably recent too. Looking at this, what's going on in here now? Oh my goodness! Why would they? It's like they backed in there and drove off. Right, the plane's gone. I reckon we'll go grab the drone out of the pickup and have a look from above and see what's going on here. See how much of the field's been affected. That looked like it went in for a very long way. So I don't know whether it's driven the whole way through the field, come out the other side. I mean, it doesn't look like a drunk driver or anything stupid like that. This looks pretty deliberate. So we'll grab the drone out of here, we'll put it up and have a look. Alright, let's get this up here and go and have a look and see what it is. There you go, you can see some tracks. Look at how far they've gone into the field. Does that look like what I think it is? Is it someone pulling the finger at us? Is that a middle finger? It looks like it, doesn't it? You can see where they've driven back out of the field there, but why would anyone want to go in, vandalise our crop, and pull the middle finger at us? Oh, it's beyond me. I'm stumped. Don't think we've crossed anyone, made anyone upset. Only thing I can think of is the lodge guy that we never did anything with, or, I mean, maybe the big time farm guys got a bit peeved at us for taking this land. We didn't do it in any underhanded way at all. It was the farmer's decision to let us farm here, so oh goodness knows. Well, there's not much we can do about it. The crop's wrecked. We'll have a chat. I might put a call into the local police station, see if there's anything they can do to help. I don't think there's any, I can't see any evidence or anything like that. There might be a few tyre tracks, but other than that, there's really not much we can do about it, I don't think. But we better report it, better let them know, because that does look like it was a deliberate attempt. They deliberately got in there and have carved out the middle finger at us. So yeah, I hope they don't come back, because they haven't touched this field here on the right. It is just the one here on the left, so I don't really want to get security or anything, but fingers crossed they don't come back and do any more. And like I said, look at the stand of corn. Isn't looking good. So we don't want to lose any more of that potential crop and potential profit for us. So yeah, let's go and see. I don't know what to say. I really do not know what else to say. Well, good morning to you. It's a few days since our last little check-in. We made a phone call to the police. They were going to have a look into it, but like I said, there's probably not much they could do. They asked if there was anyone we might have upset or caused any trouble with, but obviously other than the lodge guy and the big farmers, that was about all I could think of. I didn't think of anyone else. So yeah, who knows what it is. They were going to keep their eyes and ears out, but we've just been coming back from checking the corn. Nothing else has happened except for the fact it's now ready to harvest. So that's today's plan. Going to get everything all shipshape and moved over there and ready to go and get some corn harvested. Of course, we're going to be able to collect the corn stalks on there as well. The other thing I actually need to do, we do need to sort out getting some more storage space. Now, I've been in touch with someone about getting a grain bagger actually. I know we talked about it. I'm not sure where we're going to put it yet though. I don't know whether we could, well, I don't want to run it along the side of the shed there because that's actually going to be in the way if we manage to get someone to come in and help us out with the shed and get the shed reclad. So I'll have to have a look around. Maybe we can't put it on the yard. Maybe it's something we just do. We are going to try and lease that field for a wee while. Maybe we can put it down on the side of the field and actually keep some corn down there and take it off when we need to. That might actually be a better idea. Those fields are nice and flat, nice and level. So a little bit of organising to do. I do need to go and pick up the corn bagger or the grain bagger. I need to get that moved on down there, and then it's going to be a case of moving the combine down. Now, I was thinking about using the header trailer here, getting the bean header off the back of that and putting the corn header on it, but it's such a short distance that we actually have to be on the main road down there with the corn head, and it is a little bit narrower than the grain head. In fact, it's not much wider than the jewels that we've got there on the combine, so I might actually take a chance and just run it down there like that. I think once we've given it a clean off, look at how filthy it is. I thought it might have got washed being outside a little bit in the rain, but not the case. So yeah, that's the plan. Let's go and get some things sorted out. We'll get the combine and truck down there, and we'll go and have a look at this grain bagger. We've finally managed to shuffle everything down here. Combine's just warming up. We did open up a little bit of the field. It's quite some pile of corn stalks there. Again, we're going to keep all of those down here because we will bale all of them, considering the amount of money we made last time. Definitely worthwhile. We haven't organised the grain bagger yet. We didn't have any space for it. I'm going to try and get the field opened up, and I actually reckon putting along that grass there might actually be a really good spot. That way it's not sitting in the actual field itself, not sitting on the corn stalks once we've finished, and it might actually make it a little bit easier to take the corn out when it comes time to sell it. But I realised for that we're going to need the international, but now we need the international down on the auger so we can get the corn from the truck into the auger before we bring that down here. So what we'll probably do is we will fill up the bin, then we'll go and grab the international, go and pick up the grain bagger, bring that down here, and then we'll be able to carry on. No help just at the moment. Uncle's going to come down a little bit later, I think, just because there's so much juggling around with things that he thought, well, we'll just let me get in here and get the field opened up and started. Now, we need 535 bushels of corn to finish filling up the bin, so we don't really want to take much more up there than that. So that's the plan. We'll jump up in here. We've got the combine, should be nice and warm now. There we go, turn everything on, header's already down, so let's get into this corn. Now I've reset all of the counters, so we will be seeing some actual yields coming out of this field in just a second, and there we are, 258 bushels an acre. And just make sure I pick up all the rows. It looks like we might have missed one there. Alright, that looks about right. We'll run down this one with this snout here in the middle down this row. We should be just good. So there we go, that is us up and underway. We're going to fill up pretty quick, 10% already. Don't think we'll make it once around the field, but of course this field's not quite as big as the one we did previously, but I think with both of these fields combined we are actually looking at somewhere similar in our quantity, so it'll be interesting to see how it all goes. But anyhow, let's carry on. We're going to get this field opened up, so I don't really have to say it, but I think we'll jump into time lapse and we'll see you once we're ready with the truck and heading on down to the yard. Well, could you believe it that we just about made it the whole way around that field without having to unload? I think we were, what, 2 rows short, 3 rows short of being able to achieve that. But here we are, we're back. We managed to get, I think we've got 2.5 bushels more in the truck than what we actually need. But we need to get the tractor here hooked up to the auger so we can get this all running, and then we'll be able to get those last of the corn put up here into the truck. Now, it's always a little bit difficult. I'll figure out if I've got close enough. So we're not quite in the right spot there. There's no visible marker or anything, and of course using manual attach you don't get the notification sitting in the cab of the tractor that you're in the right spot. So we'll just play around with this, get it all set up and underway, and we'll get this bin filled. Alright, we managed to fiddle around with that, and I think we've got it all set up and running because the truck's asking us to tip, and there we go, it's going up that way, and we can see the corn going up in the top. Not quite aligned as perfectly as I'd like it, but through the function of attaching things and moving it around, it does tend to get a little bit out of alignment. Now, all going to plan, we should be left with possibly 2.5 bushels or so in the truck. It could be that they end up sitting in the auger because sometimes the augers have a little bit of a capacity just to make them work, but just wait and see what happens here. Must be getting very close to full. There we go, so we've got 1.9 bushels left sitting in there. Let's go and have a double check on the bin. Should be sitting around about 2.3 or so, 2.156. There we go. Pretty sure that's about what we're meant to be at. So I think if we just come in about here, be able to get the lid closed on it. Probably need to move the auger out of the way first. Yeah, we better do that. Right. Anyhow, that is us done with the bins. All 3 of our bins are full now, which is exciting. And we'll just have to make a little bit of a mental note of how much we've just put in there, because obviously, just move that out of the way. Obviously, that is our corn, not Uncle's, so we'll just have to make sure we keep a record of that. It's going to make it a bit easier with the using the bags down in the field, because everything down there will be ours, and it's just that little bit we've put up in there. So we're going to jump into International now. We're going to go for a drive and go and pick up this grain bagger and take it on down to the field. The farm where we are borrowing the grain bagger from, if we just look out to our right, you can see across the elevator, which has gone past the football field and the university, I think it is, in there. Just going across the train tracks. In fact, it's not too far, just back down the tracks there, and we're back in our field that's right next to the train tracks as well. So here we are though, this is the farm up here on the left. Now the farmer said he's left it out, I think I can just see it there, next to the Quonset shed. He's got the bagger there, he's also got the extractor out, and there is a bag too, so he had basically everything for us. We're just going to pull in to the left here. Now I also reckon we can go down that way, which will take us out to head into the back of the field too, so that'll be a bit quicker than going back down and dragging this around on the main road. In fact, we'll turn off that annoying little tick by having our hazard lights on the road, but there we go. That is our bagger. The bagger there on the left, and then the one on the right is actually the extractor and auger for when we want to get it out a little bit later in the season, but we don't have to worry about that now. We're just here, pick this beast up, so we'll just get ourselves backed up to there onto the hitch. Right, that looks pretty good. Jump out here, just going to get it connected. That's not bad, even if I do say so myself. Alright, that's hooked up, get the PTO put on, and there we go. There's the bag on the pallet, so we'll actually have to bring the pickup down and come and grab this, because obviously we've got no way of taking that back with us now. So we'll come back and grab that, and then we'll be able to get started. This is going to work out quite well actually. I'm actually thinking we'll have more of a look at it when we get down at the field, but there's 2 ways to fill it. You can fill it through this sort of ground auger here, which can unfold and you can dump a truck into, or you can actually unload direct from the combine or a grain cart into that top hopper. So we might actually be able to use the top hopper and actually not even take the truck back down there. The truck's still up at the yard. That might save something, just be able to run the combine over to it. It's not like it's a long distance or anything like that. So yeah, we'll see how we end up. Anyhow, I'm going to jump back up in here, get on down to the field and go and get it all set up. I was just stopping to read the sign there. Minimum maintenance road, level B service, enter at your own risk. Well, I think we'll be right. You might not want to bring your fancy road going car down this way, but the old International's going to handle it just fine. So getting our bearings, our field's somewhere over behind those trees, so we can head on down this way, kind of going out the back of the big elevator there that's in town, and go and connect up onto the field. So let's get down there, go and get this all set up and running. Right, so we're just about there, I think. Just looking across the train tracks there, that is our field. You can just about make out that we've been around it twice. We have. You've seen it, I know it, but it's a little bit hard to pick out from here. But we'll just head on down this way. There's a little bit of a rail crossing. We should be able to turn left and come down to the field entrance. And yeah, I think that's been a much better way. A lot less traffic, a lot quieter, but actually quite a nice part of the county over here. Actually really nice fields, some good shape, good sizes, get a little bit of variety. But we can get up over this way, up and over the train tracks. Just double check the train's not coming. No, we're all good. And there's our field. Looking good. Right, now we're going to go and get this all set up. The plan is, like I said before, we're going to park this on the grass and run the bags down the side and get it all going that way. Now one little thing, and we'll talk about it again, is the way these normally work is the tractor would slowly creep forward as the bag fills up. Obviously you're not going to slide a bag with thousands of bushels of crop along the ground. The tractor would move and kind of fill as it goes, but unfortunately not a realism setting that's available in Farming Simulator, or not a way that the mod could be created, much the way as the silage baggers we've used previously work. So kind of stuck with this. Now we'll get ourselves turned around here, we'll line up along the grass, and we need to take the pickup, and we'll go back and grab that bag and we'll be able to get things up and running. But I think, have a look back, it's looking pretty nice and straight there. So back up just a little bit, just so we're not right at the head of the field, but I think we need to press a button there, and that gets that all unfolded so we can use it, and we'll get it all set up. We can adjust the height and things like that as we go, but we'll get it all sorted, and we'll get going on the harvest again, get things underway. So we're back, we've been and grabbed the bag. Now as you can see, it is on a pallet. We're having to use a little bit of assistance to be able to pick that up, but we'll just get this twisted around here. I'm going to put it down here at the back. I'm just going to have a look. On the top it tells you which way the tunnel should be, so this needs to be at the front towards the tunnel. I'm just going to jump in and put that down in there. Make sure we can put that down, and then, because again we've got manual attach on, we need to get that attached and set up. Now there's a few other things we need to do to go and get this set up, so I'm going to jump in the tractor and we'll just run through those. So first things first, as you can see, we can manipulate the arm and position this properly, so we can raise and lower that one. We can twist it in and out where we want it. So if we're going to be using this, say with the truck, we'd be wanting to put that down about there, and then we can actually also get the right combination of buttons. It is possible to tip the angle on the end, not sure which one it was, but that's the options there. Now next thing we need to do is, we've already unfolded the bagger itself, but we actually also need to come in and unfold the bag. And there you go, you can see the bag's actually expanded, getting ready to have some grain put in it, and that bag is going to continuously stretch down along the grass. Third thing we need to do is we can come in here and open the covers. We can either have the cover open on the ground auger, the top auger, or we can have it open on both. Now I'm just trying to figure out what the best way to do this is. It probably would have been a good idea to fill it from the other side. Just which side the auger is on the combine, and then we would have had this little ground auger here out of the way. I can't really, now that this is unfolded, move this too far out of the way, although if we put it in sort of in there without it clipping through, and I think that might be far enough out of the way that we can still get the combine in there next to it to be able to unload. So we might just leave that there for now and see how we go. So I think, pretty sure that's about all we need to do. So we'll get the pickup out of the way, we'll get the combine just along next side, and see if we can unload into it. Put the auger out here on the combine, looks like it's going to reach far enough. Just see if we pull up here next to this, is it going to unload into it? It is, and if that's all working properly, we should see the bag slowly inching forward. Now that's not quite doing what it's meant to be doing. I think we need to hop in and expand the bag to have the pipe open on that or something too. There we go. We have to have pipe out on the bagger as well. So now that we've got pipe out, you can see the corn is going into the bag, and it's slowly starting to fill up. And we've got 129 bushels of corn inside in the bag already, so that's going to work out just perfect for us. I think it's going to be a good solution. Keep our corn down here on the field and not have to put an extra silo. So very happy to be able to get this up and going. Right, let's jump up back in here, get that auger folded away, get turned around, and we're just going to carry on with our harvesting. So sit back, relax, and get through this field. It's probably not actually going to take us that long. I'm just trying to figure out which way is the best way to do it. But I think for the fact I want to unload each time we come down here to the to the bagger. Well, not each time. We'll see how far or how many passes we can do before we fall. But I think that is going to be the best solution. We'll go around once more just to give ourselves a decent headland for turning. Bearing in mind we're going to be wanting to turn with the baler when we get in here. And we'll just see how things end up. So, like I said, sit back, relax, and we'll catch you soon. Well, like I say, this is all going very, very well. I'm hoping, what are we, 60% full? I'm hoping we can get the last little bit here in the hopper without having too many issues. But look across the field there, lots of corn stalks ready to get baled. You can see our grain bag has grown. It is getting a little bit longer as we get more and more grain into it. I'm not sure how much bigger it'll get though, whether we're half full, third full, quarter full. I'm hoping we're under half because I'd love to get both these fields into just the single bag, although I guess the catch-22 is if we need an extra bag it means we've got a good yielding crop, so yeah, I guess I'll take it either way. But we're just going to carry on and get this last little bit done. 70% full, should be able to get that in there. I reckon there's less than 30% up in there, some pretty short passes now that we're getting into, and then once we're done there we'll be able to start thinking about moving into the other field. So we'll get this little bit knocked out, go and get this emptied into the bag and then see where we're standing. Well, it turns out we don't actually have enough space in the hopper to get it all in there. There's still quite a decent amount in there, which is good. Right, let's go and get this put into the bag. We'll come back over and get this a little bit done as well. And there we go, as the train sweeps past us once again. There was 20 or so bushels, not a huge amount, but at least it's now all up and out of the field. So yeah, happy to have that all done. Right, go over and get this one a little bit emptied out. It's probably not much point, but we may as well, because it would be nice once again to be able to get the whole way around that field without having to unload. Now, what would actually have been really ideal would have been if we were able to get Uncle to maybe run the combine for a bit and we could have come down and started baling, but we can't do that because our tractor's tied up here with the grain bagger, so we don't even have that option. But we'll just carry on. I think we'll just get this done. Here we go, that's emptied out pretty quick. Let's just go and have a look, see how many bushels we've got up in here, and figure out how full it is. Well, there we go, 2,419.8 bushels, 42% full. So counting a little bit that we put in first, we're probably pretty close to 50% full. But yeah, have a look around there. It is slightly smaller field over here on the right. So yeah, maybe we will get it all in there. I'm hoping that we will, and that'll work out really well for us. So yeah, that's where we're at. Right, let's go and get the combine into the next field. We'll just carry on harvesting. Well, here we go again. Not quite going to be able to get all of this into the combine in this hopper. I was hoping we might, but 90% full. Not even going to make it to the end of the road, let alone pick up these couple of extra bonus rows we've got along there. But basically, we've kept our head down, bum up, and just gone through and got this field done. It's yeah, it's going well. We yielded really well. The bagger and everything's just worked out perfectly for us. It's such a good solution. First time I've ever used one for grain. Obviously used it for silage before, but nice to get out and try this. It's all worked just flawlessly, really. Now, we're just about full. We've got to not run over that. We'll make that do. Need to be full completely. But let's just head on over. Be careful, we'll run up in between the rows and then across the headland and go and get this put into the bag and come back over and finish. Then we'll be able to have a look, see exactly how much corn we've ended up with. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to having some income for ourselves. It's going to be fantastic. I've got some plans for next season, which this is certainly going to help us out with. So yeah, let's go and get this unloaded and get everything finished off, and we'll do a final count. Here we go, the last of the corn going into the bagger. Not too much, it's about 94 or so bushels. Let that get emptied out. There we go, that is us finished. So we managed to get it all in one bag, which is what we were hoping for. Just put that forward a little bit. I'm just going to put the header down there for now, because I'm not sure what we're going to take back first, whether it's going to be the tractor or the combine. But let's just hop up here into the International. And would you look at that, almost 5,200 bushels of corn. We've got that bag 91% full, so it's actually worked out really, really well from a capacity point of view. But yeah, 5,195 bushels. Of course, we did take, what was it, 500 or so bushels over to the farm as well, so that's another 10% on top of that, and we really would have filled this whole bag up pretty much, which is fantastic. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. We'll just turn that off there for now. We don't need to leave that running, but we will have to go through, get this bag disconnected. I'm not quite sure if that's going to work very easily with our manual attach, but we'll sort that out. And then get everything back over to the yard, get the grain bag delivered back down to the neighbour, and that'll be us done. But look at that, look at those corn stalks. Lots more money to come out of these fields, but that is a wrap on harvest here for another season. Combine will go back and get tidied up and put away. We'll be back down later on to get these corn stalks all baled and sold. But for today, that is going to wrap it up for this episode. As always, I hope you've all enjoyed it. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.